Welcome to Modern Dads, the most hotly anticipated show since Game of Thrones.
Absolutely, yeah, that's right.
I'm
Same
Chandru
cast members.
right?
And I'm
this
Carl
is-
Lyons.
And we are Modern Dads, which is...
Dad's trying to figure out what it is to be modern. I've got something I wanted to ask you about today, and it's really a question of identity.
Okay.
It's about being not just a modern dad, but it's about being a man, if you like, in this day and age.
Yeah.
There's a huge spectrum of expectations, I think, about how we should behave these days. You know, right from the end of the stuff, the kind of thing that we're exploring about being carers, looking after our kids, right to the other end about being a provider and about being a macho kind of man as well.
Right.
And you know how hard that is, how you define that. What are your thoughts on that?
My wife is a solicitor, and we decided rather that the best thing for us as a family was to support her career financially, professionally.
Yeah.
And that's the way I looked at it. I took ego out of the equation. By taking ego out of the equation, I also had to make sure that I wasn't affected by perception, public perception.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, because we're not the traditional 9 to 6 dads, maybe the mothers and the fathers who see us, they might, think less of us.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I couldn't let that affect me, because at the end of the day, it boils down to one thing: what's best for family. So I think part of being a modern man and a modern dad is one, taking ego out of the equation.
Absolutely,
and has a direct relation to that. The
public perception stuff,
being affected
if you
by
like.
it. Right.
And other people's expectation. Because I feel that as well. You know, the fact that you're kind of judged. And the thing is, people tend to confuse identity with role or job, don't they? So, say if you meet somebody for the first time, often they'll say, "So what is it you do for a living then?" So they want to know, and they kind of put you in some kind of box, don't
Exactly.
they?
Well, we make web series in coffee shops. The other factor is that you're going to be judged no matter what you do.
Yeah.
No matter how successful you are, there are going to be haters, frenemies.
Yeah, frenemies, right? Yeah.
You sort of have to put blinders on and just focus on what you need to focus on. And modern man is evolution. But the thing is, at the end of the day, we have the task of multitasking.
Absolutely.
And it is a juggling act.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
Both our wives work here, and we're
not here.
Not here. But I see, kind of dads, men of our generation, being confused actually in lots of ways about their own identity, and there's this kind of masculine and feminine, kind of polarity almost. The women earn a lot more than the men actually, and that starts to really challenge the concept of the masculine identity.
This is something that's understood in my house, and perhaps understood in yours, is that my wife's success is hugely dependent on my support. Behind every strong man is a strong woman. It's exactly the same thing.
Now, right?
It's just flipped. If the women are pursuing successful careers, they cannot do it in a family unit without the support of their husbands. Another question is it acknowledged? The husband juggles the kids, the activities, and the cooking, the groceries, the house, whatever else that allows her to pursue that career and be successful. Do you think that that's another issue where it's sort of, dare I say it, taken for granted?
And I wonder if we are part of that problem almost, in a sense, in that, we have expectations of our wives as well, for them to be feminine and,
Is your wife
in
really
certain
butch?
way. But that's part of the problem, isn't it? You're supposed to be like Russell Crowe, aren't you? To be out there protecting the family, and any threat you kind of rip the head off. But at the same time, you've got to go back, and you've got to write a poem about it as well. Just to kind of get that balance right.
Which cut of The Gladiator did you see? We grew up at a time where it was all about the dad going to work, and at least in my house, the woman, the mum staying and taking care of the kids. And now, when my kids are growing, your kids, they'll say that it's not like that. We're not restricted by social boundaries, public perception.
And I take your point about the evolution. I think that we've got to change over time. And I see the generations after us, the millennials and such like coming through, are a lot more liberal. There are a lot less barriers, in terms of the way that they see identity and sexuality and all of that kind of stuff. And I think that's for the better.
When you became or evolved or found yourself in a position where you were a modern dad and a modern man, did you ever feel that you were being judged, or were you ever conscious that I might be judged? Maybe at school drop-offs or something, or anything, when you're loitering around afterwards with me talking about potential web series ideas.
No, I don't think that was particularly a problem. You know what I think the problem is mainly is probably in my head, actually.
Well, there are a lot of
my
problems
expectations of myself, so I think that's what it is. I don't necessarily feel as though I'm externally judged, and I think even in my, relationship with my wife, I probably have bigger expectations of me than she does of me in that sense.
The women used to say, you don't appreciate me, you don't value me. And now, being in the situation that I am, I can understand what my mother was talking about, because it's like, because it is tough to do everything and, work or whatever, but to do everything with the kids in the house. So it is tough, and it can get taken for granted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not appreciated.
So do you feel as though you're in touch with your feminine side?
Well, let us know what you think. Thank you for tuning in.
Let us know if you've got any ideas or any feedback. So we'd love to hear from you. Thanks very much.
Thanks for watching. I mean, I'm great with my kids. Great. I mean, I can say that.
That lack of ego we were talking about.